All right, I gotta say your construct understanding for this unit is a little bit long-winded, so I'm just gonna skip it, and we're gonna use that get started concept and apply it to example 1. So basically, they give us two tables. We have x and f of x, so this is one function, like your x and your y, and x and g of x, which is another function. And they have slightly different values, so what they want us to do is apply this to a composite function. Now, a composite function, by definition, is a function within a function. So, for example, the first one they give us is f of g of x, which means that you've got two machines in your little lineup. Just the same way we did with the get started one, the first thing you have to do is the inside thing. It's like when you solve brackets. You always solve the inside brackets and then keep going outwards. So the inside brackets I have is g of x. So this is my pattern. I'm going to input my x, I'm going to find out what the value for g of x is, and then I'm going to apply it to f of x, the same way we did for the little box machines. So the first one, a, is actually not x at all, but -1. So that means that I'm going to take -1, and I'm going to find the value for g of -1. So g of x is over here. I take -1, and the value is 2. So all I have to do is recognize that g of -1, equals 2. So then I put 2 in there. And what it wants me to do then is move along in my little assembly line, and the next step is to do f of that 2. So I'm going to look at this one now. I'm going to find 2, and the answer is 0. So the answer is simply 0. That's as simple as it gets. We're just going along the line and figuring out what each one equals and keep moving. So this one, b, is f of x, so I don't even have to worry about g anymore. I'm just looking at this table by itself. But I have to put it in twice. So the value that they give me is just 1. So I'm going to put f of 1. Now this f is this one. And since 1 is my value, I have to find f of 1. Look at my table for f of x. 1 is here. The answer is -1. So f of 1 is equal to -1. Keep moving along in my pattern. Now I have to find f of that -1. So I go back to my table, -1, f is 3. So that's my answer. It's that simple. You just have to follow the steps and go from one function to the next. Remember that the inside function is the one you start with, and then you solve toward the outside.